All righty. Good evening, everyone. Ooh, I'm echoing. Hello. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Board of Trustees meeting for the library, June 25th, 2024. We will be recording this meeting, and let us begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, all right. Let's begin with a review of the minutes from May 21st, 2024, which were all sent to us, and I think Nicole very nicely gave us another copy if we need it.
Chairman, I would move that we accept the meeting minutes for May 21st, 2024 as presented.
Okay, we have
Second.
a motion by Richard, a second by Pat. Anything else? Any omissions, deletions, anything? We're good? All right, seeing none. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
I should add, Mr. Chairman, with thanks to the lady who scribed these notes for us, the minutes rather, that's quite a task and much appreciated.
Very much. And that's Lisa Berg.
Yes.
Yes, Lisa. None of us like to do it, so thank you, Lisa. Thank you.
And
Thank
she
you.
does it well.
Oh, she does it very well. All right, number 3, reorganization of the board for FY25. So, here we are. I would like to entertain a motion to, make a motion that Kate become the new chair.
Chairman,
What do you feel like? How do you
I
feel
would
about
be
it?
most accepting, yes.
Terrific.
And I second.
So we have a motion and a second. Any other nominations from the floor? All right, hearing none. All in favor of Kate being the chair of the Board of Trustees for FY25, say aye. Aye. It's unanimous. Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome.
So you can take over if you want.
I'll let you continue.
Okay.
You're doing fine.
Okay.
I would like to make a motion for Ben Craver to be vice chair.
second.
That was a little too quick, Mr. Clark.
I thought I was a little slow with that, but that's okay.
That's fine. I will gladly.
Thank you, Ben. We're going to vote on you?
Yeah, yes. We have a motion and a second. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. And I'll make a motion that, Pat, you remain as clerk. What's your official title?
Secretary.
Secretary.
Second.
Unless someone else wants to fight me for the position.
I think you could fight everybody for these positions, and there wouldn't be much of a
I
fight.
have every confidence that you would win such a battle.
Yes. We'll roll over and play dead. We have a motion. I'll make it a second. Any other comments?
Can you just bend Pat's microphone closer to her?
Oh, Pat. Oh, okay. There we go.
Okay. I couldn't quite figure out what you were signaling over there.
I was going to say, what did I forget
It
to
was
do?
either a fire drill or something fell down.
Okay, we've had a motion and a second for Pat to be secretary. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Another unanimous vote. Thank you.
We're organized.
Yes, we are. Director's report, please, Nicole.
Okay. So we had another exciting month of May. The staff completed their 1 monthly training. They switched up a little bit this month. Jubilee was on her break from her master's degree, so she did some Canva training, which is the marketing tool that we all love. Lena is doing a little more of a deep dive into programming because she did her first programming in June. Not a huge turnout, but wildly successful because she accomplished it and she made a couple of patrons very happy. So she's gonna do one of those every month this summer. Dawn is working on her reader advisory skills. We have that fantastic database on our website called Novelist. You guys should all look at it, it's great. So everyone's doing really well with picking something to expand their library knowledge.
Excuse me, novelist?
Novelist,
Is-
Novelist, novelist.
And that is just
It's-
so you can make recommendations, get a feel for what we have in the library better?
So it's more like, if you like this book, try this book.
Okay.
But it gives staff, it's an easy way for staff to have support for the recommendation that they're giving. So we have staff that are really well-read in all sorts of areas, and we have staff, and I'm saying this in a general sense, library staff, that aren't big readers and maybe would have a hard time making a recommendation. So Novelist is a database that's supplied
Nice.
through us, through CW Mars, and it's fantastic. It's so easy to use, and if you ask, like, give me a book like James Patterson.
Yeah.
It'll go on to tell you why the ones they selected for you are like James Patterson's books. So it's pretty cool.
Excellent.
And it's on our website.
Nice.
It's on our webpage.
Nice
our
tool,
homepage.
yeah.
I think Richard got a one-on-one tutorial at one point. Didn't I show you that months ago?
I believe you may have, yeah.
Yeah, he was overwhelmed with joy. He loved it. He did. I remember you actually did love it. So I did some updating of our homepage for the library catalog, and finished cataloging the library things and the memory kits. So if you now are searching our catalog like a patron, there's cheat buttons that you can go to that will show you the whole library of things. It will show you the memory kit, so it makes it easier and more intuitive to order things. Courtney attached a separate report for what she's been working on in the children's room. We're still moving towards getting the room divided into sections, if you will, based on age. We're really lacking like in a toddler area, so we're starting to break things out with purchases, like rugs, just to define the area, and seating. We added a puppet stand. That puppet theater gets used all the time. The kids love it. So she's gonna be working on getting a comprehensive plan together for the end of the summer. But we added the light table, which the kids have absolutely loved. Also blocks of magnetiles and the fridge for the kitchen. So thank you for letting us add those.
I love the little chairs that you have in there now.
Aren't they great?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're kind of like the alternative to a beanbag because the kids don't fight with them as much. They can just kind of sit.
Ooh.
I mean, they move them around a lot, which is nice.
They were yesterday.
Were they?
That's all right. A couple
Yeah,
boys
I
were in there.
mean,
Jousting.
Yeah.
But it's amazing.
Wasn't a grandson of yours by any chance?
No, he was actually more of a spectator this
Oh.
time. It's unusual, but it's amazing how much more there seems to be in that children's room than there had been in the past. I'm struck by how much apparently dead space that we had, because now it's been utilized.
The presentation, like the separation of
it's-
things looks
Yeah.
really nice.
You're working on it.
I think I said at the last meeting, it seems to be alive even when there aren't kids in there.
Exactly, yeah.
Nice.
It's a
Cool.
strange, not a strange, but an amazing transformation.
yeah. Let's see. So Courtney is working on the children's room still, always working hard. Deb has launched her weekly movie program. Hasn't taken off yet, but we have to give it time. So we're not going to be discouraged by that. We had 3 teens come today, which we think is great.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, we love that we have the teens.
I will
in the
say
building.
historically, movies just don't seem to go.
No, and
No.
it's going to take a year to really see if they are.
We've had them
gonna
for
take
a
off or not.
while.
Was this a teen-themed movie?
doesn't seem
Pre-COVID,
No.
No.
we used to have people
No.
coming in, but
Yeah, movies just don't seem to be the draw. I don't know why.
Yeah. So she's setting those up on Tuesdays at 1, so we're gonna see how that goes.
Yep.
Lena did a beautiful job with her recycled wallpaper flowers.
They look awesome.
Don't they
Isn't it?
They look
Isn't it?
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those,
we
yeah.
get so many compliments every day on those.
Yep.
And let's see what else. Oh, moving on to facility. So Renaud has been in the building quite a bit the past couple of months. That's our HVAC contractor. We did have our preventative maintenance done. They found some minor repairs that need to be completed, which were completed last week. In addition to those, we had some more leaks, but tiles came right down in the middle again, so there was no damage to the books, so that was good. So they systematically went through the whole building, and they taped up all the pipes that could be condensating, causing the dripping, and then they replaced 11 valves, which are part of like burping the system, which they're not shutting again, causing the water to leak. So we should be pretty good.
Shh, don't jinx us.
Right.
Don't jinx us.
But they were great. They got everything completed. Those charges are on your current update for the expenses. The front doors are officially finished, which is awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ernie sent a photo and it looks
They
great.
look great.
Yeah.
I mean, the second time around, they just look fabulous. And as I told Nicole, they remind me of Buzz Crawford, because we would have to varnish the boats every spring, because they were all the old-fashioned wooden boats, and you had the spar varnish out, and they have that look to it now. It's like I said, I love it. We have to send a picture to Joanna and Caroline. They do have this boat look to them, because it's not even, but it's
That's
nice
nice.
and shiny. Yep.
Yeah.
And George said that Sunday he would pop in and try to get that front area on the exterior of the building cleaned up a little bit, because the power washing is on hold until the fall, but it needs a little something, so he said he would take care of that for us on Sunday.
But the flowers look great.
Oh, yeah.
Flowers, it's just a very nice, and as you say, thankfully, you look at the flowers, you look at the doors, you don't look at everything else, but once you have it all done, it's a nice entryway, very
Yeah,
nice.
it's looking good, it's looking good. So the front doors are done. I have my camera and computer quotes that I'm gonna start going through next week. It's gonna take a little bit, I don't wanna make the wrong choice. And then finally, we had 8 yards of mulch delivered for our United Way of South Central Mass Day of Caring project. That was spread by our lovely volunteers on the hottest day of the week.
Yeah, of course.
I felt so bad for them, but they did a beautiful job. They did a beautiful job. So we appreciate them taking care of that for us. We're wrapping up the financials for FY '24. We are probably gonna have about $1,800 left over in our budget at the end of the year, and that's due to salary overages. And I have until the 15th to turn in the last warrant for FY '24, so we have another 2 weeks. But I think the majority of everything has been paid at this point. And we definitely have hit our materials requirement and then some, so.
Great.
It is good. Yep.
Nice job.
Thanks. So upcoming programs, I just went ahead and I threw everything in there for the rest of the summer because it's scheduled, so we might as well get it in there. We have the art show with Ann Tisdale going on right now till the end of June. And then the community room is gonna become our community art in the Fells Room. So Lisa Kretschmann, thank you, is coming in and she's designing a community wall art piece for us. And everybody will get to pick a square that interests them and then use their medium of their choice to fill it in. And then we will put the pieces together and make a art installation by the community for the summer. Yeah, so her first,
So where, once it's completed, where is that gonna go?
it's gonna be right in the Fells Room, so we
Oh,
have all
okay.
those black, so
Yep.
reusing is the theme for summer reading, so we're reusing all those black frames that we had from previous art shows, and they'll
Right.
sit on the ledge and it'll line the room, and all the pictures will connect.
Ah, gotcha.
So we need
Nice.
lots of artists. I know I saw somebody sign up, so I hope that you guys get a chance to come in and grab a piece of art.
I'm bringing a neighbor along too.
Oh,
so-
good. It'll be a lot of fun. She's doing her first session on Friday, and then she'll be back again on Monday to do an evening one. And then, of course, people are able to work independently at home if they prefer to do that. So she's taking care of the drawing. We just need people.
How
to
big are
kinda-
the pieces?
I think they're going to be 18. It's either, I think it's, the paper's 18 by 24. So I think we were cutting them in half, so 18 by 12. And then there's going to be 4 in each frame. It's going to be very cool when it's
Great.
together. I think she's choosing a landscape from in and around town to bring that Dudley piece back.
Great.
Any age?
All
stipulations?
ages,
Yeah.
all skill levels, because it's going to be, that's what's going to make it unique.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Go grab a
So we're
grandchild.
excited for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Thursday, we have Take a Tromp Through the Swamp, which is music for all ages at 1 o'clock. And then the Audubon is going to be here that evening for Introduction to Birds and Bird Watching. Next week, Lena's going to have her paper book Hedgehog, which I think there's just a couple more registrations open for that. The 11th, we are having...
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
After she had only a couple, now it's
Yeah.
like almost full?
Well, she was very smart. She showed her art samples.
Yeah.
And so people were able to decide which ones they wanted to do.
Oh,
So maybe they didn't want to make the bird, but they wanted to know
Make
how
the
to fold
hedgehog.
a hedgehog out of a
okay.
book. So,
Gotcha.
yeah. And her seashell, I think, is already full, which is her August program. We have Tom Knight's musical puppet show on the 11th at 11 a.m. And then we have our Swiftie trivia, Name That Poet, on the 18th. We also have on the night of the 18th, this is something that's exciting, the literacy volunteers of South Central Mass are coming to use the room for to bring more volunteers into their program. So I met with Emily Farrell, who's the executive director at Literacy Volunteers back in May. She came in, we sat down and talked. And this community was one that they didn't really have a meeting place for tutors to come and help with English as a second language. So she's gonna come back to the library for that. So we're very excited about that. We told them that if their tutors need any help booking rooms, that let us know. We can move people around as need be to facilitate that.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Yep.
People through the door.
We've tried that before.
People
This is
through
great.
the door.
So we'll see. We'll see. She's super nice. One of the challenges that they were coming up with is actually having people to watch the children while the adults are being tutored. So we are trying to come up with something maybe like a teen volunteer program, like the teens can watch the kids.
What about the Girl Scouts? Earning a badge.
Right.
So there might be adults with the Girl Scouts that can
Yeah.
help oversee.
Right.
Maybe some babysitting, because I think that's a.
There's definitely a badge.
And then National Honor needs to put in their
Yeah.
hours.
Service hours.
They need the
Yep.
service hours.
Yep.
So,
Wasn't there some sort of a training program for babysitters?
oh, we actually had that for a
Cross.
while.
Yeah,
Yep, Red
we had-
Cross had a great
Ooh, that was
program.
out of which group?
I don't recall, but.
Yeah, we actually,
Training.
training, it's babysitting training that they got certified at
Yeah,
by the end.
it's a
It
Red
must
Cross-
be Red
Red
Cross.
Cross program.
Yes,
Yep.
Red Cross.
Oh, I thought it
My
was a
kids did
school
it through
system.
Harrington,
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
So we're working towards that. Deb had hosted her first Once Upon a Crime book club in May. She had one attendee who was so happy about it. I mean, put it in perspective. It's on a Friday morning at 11
I
a.m.
know,
right?
that's- Yeah,
It's
I would
just
love
so-
to attend something like that, but yeah, Friday mornings at 11.
Exactly. So for her to get somebody, but
That was
I got
good.
a really nice thank you note from this
Nice.
patron who was
Oh.
over the moon, excited about having something like this open to her. So
Cool.
she comes this month. Maybe she'll bring a friend
I
with
was just
her.
gonna say.
Exactly.
Yep.
Spread the word.
Exactly. And then Courtney has booked the Rubber Ducky Soap program for Thursday, August 8th. We have not opened registration for that yet because we only take a limited amount of students, so we want to level the playing field, don't want to have people sign up too early. And then the same thing with painting with Jean Walker. We'll have her in August.
So the Rubber Ducky soaps, have we done that before?
I think so.
All right, yeah, I thought we did.
I think so.
Yeah, that's a highly,
Yeah.
I think you get a lot for that, yeah.
Popular, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mentioned, Jean, I'm sorry, it was mentioned earlier that there's been, well, our movie schedule, our movie programs haven't been that well received. I wondered if there's opportunity to somehow match that up with the crime book club. You know, that if the book
Pair it
and then there's
together.
the movie and put the two somehow together. I don't know.
I just haven't seen historically, all the time that I've been on the board, not long, but all the time, the movies just, and I mean, the last time it was a selection of movies that were really just bad. Like I'm amazed we got one person to go to those horrible movies or
Yeah.
bad
That's what it
movies.
was.
or
Worst
whatever.
movies, yeah, it was
and I
like,
just
the theme was weird, but
Yeah, it just didn't
Um,
work. But before, even prior to that, I don't feel we had much of an attendance to movies.
Because the senior center does movies with a
Oh, they
lunch
do?
here,
Oh, I didn't know that.
and I'm wondering if we touch base with Joshua Place. They have a van. Just say, y'all want to come down? We can produce a lunch. We can do a bag lunch if we wanted to for a group from Joshua Place. I don't know if they do movies up there. I have no idea, but you want to come down? Get out of the village up there. Come down, see something else, and come have a snack and see a movie. Introduce them to the library that they may not know about.
Or they haven't visited in a while.
Exactly.
I mean, the fact that it was so all over the papers and what have you last year, and now it's so like such a thriving enterprise.
And with the warm weather months that we're into, the opportunities for them to get out may be somewhat limited. You're not likely to get out on your
Yeah.
own, so to speak, because it's like 90 degrees and the humidity is 120
They have an
degrees.
air-conditioned van that they just go
Something a little
2
different,
miles down the
shake it
road.
up a little bit.
We used to have a group that would come in from Christopher Heights too.
Yes.
And they liked our library because it was all on
One floor, they loved our
Yeah.
one floorness, yes, that's true. And part of that, I think, grew out of Karen doing the book club there.
Right.
Yeah, Karen did the book club at Christopher Heights, so
Oh,
she had a little.
at Christopher Heights?
Yeah,
Oh, I
she
didn't know
went,
that.
she went there once a month,
Yeah.
and she had a following that would obviously come check out her digs.
That's a nice idea.
Yeah, and I think somebody in Webster's taken that over.
I believe so.
I
Karen
think-
was actually doing it when she came to Charlton. She was still traveling
Still
because she really
coming
cared
over.
about the group a lot.
Yeah.
So I think she was able
Yeah.
to convince somebody to take that over, which
Yeah.
is good. Yep. So we added a couple of new museum passes, Springfield Museums in Springfield, which is the Dr. Seuss Museum, but there's a whole bunch of museums that go along with that one. It's buy one, get the second admission 50% off. We also added the Providence Children's Museum, which was a patron request. So hopefully that takes off. We renewed Ecotarium, and then we have our usual suspects. Mei Zhang is doing like really, really well. She's actually coming
Oh.
back and doing 3 more lessons for us
Great.
because, I mean, I think we had 17 people there at her last
That room
lesson.
is
It is
crowded, it's
fantastic.
hysterical.
So
Yeah.
It
glad.
is amazing.
And they're loud, they're fun.
Yeah, they're just having a grand old time. It's like, would you quiet down, you know, I feel like, but no, they're just having a ball.
Yeah, and they-
It's
they-
fabulous to watch.
Yeah.
Because I remember the first couple, you were like, oh, we had like 3 people
Yeah.
come. Oh, we had,
Yeah.
5 people come. 17 is
17,
fantastic.
yeah.
I know. I think
Yeah.
one of the first weeks I walked by and they were with one table there.
Yep.
The next week it was filled.
Yeah.
It was
That's great.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's
So they're definitely having a good time. Yoga's doing well too. We had to get a substitute teacher for the summer. Our instructor is going to be traveling, but we were able to find someone so we can keep that consistency
Oh, that's
going.
good.
Great.
Yeah. So Chillin' with Miss Courtney started last week. Hopefully, I think this week we've had 2 kids sign up. So it's going to take some time to get the ball rolling with that. And then I was told too that some parents don't like to have that schedule in the summertime. They look forward to like not having a schedule. So we'll see how it goes. But she's offering that, which is great.
And what is she doing with chilling? What is
So
that?
anything that's like literary related, like, so she was gonna do the pass around stories with the kids last week. So she writes the first sentence and then you pass it to the next person. She's gonna do blackout poetry, haikus, the zines, you cut things out of magazines. Just fun, different little fun things for them to do that, bring them
What
into the
age group is she
library.
shooting at?
8+.
8+.
8+.
Yep, and we don't have much for that age group,
No,
so that's
we-
nice to
yeah,
something
yep,
to
yep.
get
Yeah.
some back in the library.
Yep.
Yeah, we definitely.
Keep them coming,
I
yeah.
agree. And then, so the programs for May are listed. Our social media followers continue to rise. Facebook's up to 1,816, and Instagram is growing. We'll get, another 62 followers. Circulations are still on the rise, which is great. Total circulations, including digital, are up 22.5% over last year. I would like to point out the young adult book collection, the difference in the numbers year over
Oh,
year.
Yeah.
That's
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's one family.
Wow.
That's one family in Dudley.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and every time they come
That's
every
a jump.
Yeah, they come every Thursday night, and I laugh. I was like, "Oh, I just did my statistics. I can tell you've been in the building." They're a great family. They know who they are. Yeah. Yep. So.
Is that the family that came back to us? Because,
Yep. Yep.
yeah, family, fabulous.
Yeah,
That's so
and-
neat.
And the Thursday night is the night of Dungeons and Dragons too, which is nice. That group is doing so well. We had 11 kids last week.
What's the
good.
age of that group that you're seeing?
It's if I had to put an age on it, I think the median age is maybe 14, 15.
Okay.
Maybe a couple that are a little bit younger and a couple that are a little bit older. But it's a great mix of kids, and it's being facilitated by a dad. So they're actually
By a dad,
Yeah,
okay.
they're
That's
actually
what's
playing
good.
the game.
That was going to be my question, who's facilitating this?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. We're one of the only libraries that has a D&D following. It's crazy. It's crazy. If you don't have someone that's interested in teaching it, they will not come. So we're
Right.
very excited.
Thank you, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. staff.
How are the summer reading programs going?
Oh, really well.
If I jumped ahead, if it's
That's-
gonna come,
That's
we can
okay.
wait.
That's okay. So the ice cream social, we did really well. I think it was a huge success. We had 236 people sign up that day, 98 adults, 27 teens, and 111 kids. So to date, so this is week and a half in, we have 218 kids signed up for the kids program, 263 adults for the adults program.
That's fantastic.
And
That's
136
a huge jump.
teens. So those teens are not unique users. The teens program is a little bit different. They get, what do I do with my card? They get the scratch ticket when they come in, so they don't have to check anything out. We don't have any requirements of the teens. We just want them to come in and use the library, whatever it means. So that 136, it could be 28 teens signing up every day. But that shows you that they're coming back every day. They come right to the counter. They're like, sign in on the clipboard, and they get their ticket. So.
I saw one young man trying to bargain for another
Yes,
scratch ticket.
yes. So of course, like, we have to get creative. Now Deb has a whiteboard up next to the desk, and there's a daily trivia question there. She's vicious.
She is.
It's so
Oh, you
hard.
didn't know the answer? Oh,
No,
you
I
did.
didn't.
Oh, no. They're,
No, I
they're
didn't.
hard.
They're hard.
They're hard. And
It's
she
so much
If Ben
loves
doesn't
it.
know it.
But
they're
she's
hard.
having so much fun with it. And we sit there and laugh. It's
Yeah.
great.
So what was the most recent, it's of the day, so do you remember what the most recent one was?
Yeah, so she put up a number on the board, and it was like,
Ooh.
I don't know
Oh.
the exact number. Say, okay, so 8, 3, 4, 7, 9, 4, 6,
Oh
2,
my.
whatever. And I looked at it, I go, oh, I know the answer. These are all the numbers between 8 and 10, like with no repeats. And she's like, no. They're actually the numbers between 1 and 10 put in alphabetical order.
Alphabetical.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So nobody got it. So
Okay.
at the end of the day, well, one kid got it, but I cheated with him. I was in the children's I was in the children's room, and I said, hey, did you do the trivia? And he goes, no. And I said, well, you're not going to get it, so let's play a game. And he said, all right. His mom was standing there. And I said, I'm going to give you the answer. And you go over to the desk and you pretend like you're thinking about it. And then the blonde woman that's behind the desk, give her the answer. And he's like, all right. And he did it. And then
Did she peek out from behind
Nope.
the desk to look?
she didn't say anything, and at the
She
end of the day, I
didn't.
go, did anybody get the trivia today? She goes, yes! I can't believe it! This teen came in and he got it right away, and I was like, not telling her. You can tell her tomorrow.
I love it.
But,
She's
yeah.
gonna now
I
know.
love it.
But
I love
she-
it.
Yeah, she comes up with some crazy questions.
She
but
does.
She's having a great time. So
It
the
just-
teens, if they do that,
That's
they get a piece of
fantastic.
candy. If an adult does it, they get an extra ticket. If the children do it, they get an extra ticket for the summer reading. So everybody gets a little bit of something. So.
That's fantastic. I love hearing those numbers.
Yeah, me
I
too.
think that is just wonderful because those are people who are
Adults
coming
and
in.
teens are
Yes.
just
Yep.
off the chart. I mean, we've always had kids. But the next two groups is just, that's very changed. That's a
Yes.
big change.
People
That's
love the
pleasant.
classes, yeah. So Deb is gonna be invited back to the trustees meeting in August because she has a special announcement for September, but I'm not gonna tell you what it is.
No, good suspense.
Yes, suspense. So, it's good. It's
I
very
like
good.
seeing all the numbers, and they're all on the plus side.
Yes.
Yeah, everything looks
Exactly.
Really like
fantastic.
that.
Exactly.
Yes. I love the data.
Good,
She's
good.
coming in August. Tell her we want a tease that you're going to present for August in July.
Okay.
And it can be a riddle, it can be anything she wants.
Then you're gonna walk in the building and she's just gonna spill her beans. She's like, but she'll say, don't tell anybody.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's a great thing. It's a great incentive.
Oh,
and
fun.
We're gonna use it for library sign-up month for September, library card sign-up month, so.
Oh, she has, yeah. Excellent.
Yep, all right, so. And then the financials, does anybody have any questions? Like I said, I think we're gonna end up with about $1,800.
Where does that $1,800 go?
Back to the town.
Yeah.
Yep, back to the town. So we spent $1,600 additional in materials over and above the budget that came out of the Lost Book Fund. So that helped us, we definitely hit our mark.
Just a thought, at the $1,800, I know that some of the furniture in the children's room in particular is worn. I don't know if we could replace a chair with some of that $1,800, if we pick the worst one.
Bottom line budget, we can do whatever, you know.
But doesn't it have to be
I
in the
would-
building by July 1?
Yeah, I would
Has
be
to be
hard pressed to
spent
get
and-
that done.
Just
Yeah.
quickly,
Yeah.
yeah. The
Yeah.
timing.
It's a
makes it, yeah.
financial thing that has to be paid for and everything
It has to
by
be
July.
invoiced by July 1.
Can't
yeah.
backdate anything.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. So Some of that money, I'm gonna skip back to something else. I asked John if we could get some part-time help in the children's room for the summer. He approved it. I do have to pay for this person out of state aid. It is a 10-hour-a-week position. It will go June 23rd through August 23rd. She is working Tuesdays from 2 to 5, Thursdays 5 to 8, and then every Saturday 10 to 2. This is someone that comes to us, she's a college student, she has worked in the public library system in this area and did not need to be trained.
That's
It's
fabulous.
fantastic with the kids, she's going back to school in August, and John said absolutely. So I posted the job for a week, internally, externally interviewed, and offered the position, so she started today. And that will help move the traffic through the children's room. That room is a lot for one person.
It is, yeah.
A lot. So some of that money, we might even go a little bit below the 1,800, so. Get everything on the list, I think?
So have we, if I'm looking at this correctly, and I don't necessarily, I don't know, have we used up all of our state aid for FY18, FY19, and FY20?
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yep, that is correct.
So then our balance starts with 21.
Correct.
Okay.
And then we have, for the total of those accounts, $94,114.44.
All the HVAC out of the green number we see here already?
It's already billed today,
It's up,
yeah. I
okay.
put 6,000 through today.
Right.
Yeah, today.
So that's probably not taken out of here yet?
It is,
It's-
I added it already.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. Any other questions? Okey-doke. How about we go to number 5, the hours.
Okay, so I got a nice email from the Webster Public Library, looking to collaborate, get the staffs together, do a little joint training. So they had already set up a training class on site for August 30th. It would start at 9 a.m. and go till noon time. So, or excuse me, 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. I would really like the staff to attend. It's, the training is about reader's advisory, which our staff would absolutely benefit from. It's not only a training, but they do a lot of role-playing and hands-on questions, which I think is fantastic. It's right down the road, and I also like the idea of the staff being able to get together with, counterparts. So the total for the training will be split between the two libraries if you guys approve the late opening. And then they're gonna provide breakfast for the staff too. I am going to make it mandatory for all staff that works at the Pearl to attend this, whether it's a regularly scheduled day for them or not.
Right.
And what is the subject or topic?
Reader's advisory, and how to have a conversation with patrons that come into the building and are looking for materials. It's not intuitive for everybody. So if you're not familiar with a subject or something that somebody is looking for, this class is going to teach them how to communicate and be able to give people what they're looking for with some confidence.
Who's putting on the?
I was gonna say, is this MBLC?
Who's coming
Yeah,
in
who's
to do
doing
it?
it?
It's, her name is Leanne Ellis, and she's from the RA Potential. She's out of Gloucester. So she's a professional library trainer.
And how much is this costing us?
It's being split between the two of us, $300 each. So breakdown for a staff of 7, I think that's money well spent.
Oh, I did
Oh,
too.
yeah, definitely.
Especially because the majority of your professional training right now has been done with online, seminars and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
I think it's good, and I also have to agree that mixing the two town library, I think it's important. You see somebody and you're like, oh, I know you work at the library, so it'll expand their,
Right.
everybody's horizons.
Is,
So you're asking us to approve that we're closed in the
Right.
morning for this training. What is Webster doing?
They are probably closing the full day. I did not ask what she's doing, because they close at 1 o'clock in the afternoon
On
on Wednesday.
Wednesdays?
So they're
Yeah.
probably gonna be
Gotcha.
closed the whole day. I wouldn't want to be closed the whole day. Wednesday afternoons is one of our busiest days because the Webster Library closes. So, you know, and I could always go back to the library too and open up earlier if it runs a little bit over, which I don't anticipate that it will, but.
And so how many more staff members that are not normally working Wednesday morning are we adding to this?
1, 2, 3.
Good, and we'll obviously pay them.
Oh, yes, of
And are we
course.
gonna try to change their hours, or we'll just add it
So
to
now
the mix?
it's a mandatory training? We're making, is it
I'm
mandatory
gonna make it
training?
mandatory, yeah.
It's the only way you can get everybody there.
It's
Well, yeah, when
a,
you're paying them.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, otherwise,
Yeah.
if you weren't, then you'd have some gaps.
and I think the
Well,
girls,
it's not that they couldn't go, part of the staff couldn't go to the training and come back and teach our staff as well.
True.
I mean, that's-
Okay,
I like the
trainer.
mingling of the two
Yeah,
libraries,
I
I
like
do,
the-
but I'm just saying that,
Right,
like,
right, but again,
it's better
if you
they
have a
all
partial
learn from
staff,
one.
you're lacking some of what was mentioned earlier, which is that interaction, that, you know,
And we have nothing.
other than bringing pictures back and say, this person works in Webster, that's not really gonna suffice.
Yeah, and we'll take that out of state aid?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, we have nothing in the budget for that, so take
Yeah.
state aid, sounds great.
I think it's a great opportunity to get together with them. We were invited to Sturbridge last month, or this month, it's June. Yeah, this, still June. But we weren't able to go because they don't have the staffing. And that's okay, but this I felt like, with what they were offering,
small.
it's definitely important, so, yeah.
So, Mr.
Excellent.
Chairman, we would need a motion,
Yes,
and what was the date again, please?
the 30th of August.
August 30th. All right, Mr. Chairman, I would move that we amend the schedule, library schedule for August 30th of 2024 to reflect the in-service training at Webster Public Library of the staff, or words to that effect.
And financially support it.
And support, yes.
Yes. I have a motion,
Second.
and we have a second. Any other comments or questions? All in,
you will publicly post
Oh, yeah,
everywhere that we're gonna be closed that morning.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous?
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I didn't see it, I don't recall on the agenda as such, but we did have a report from the Youth Services Librarian. At some point, maybe we would want to give consideration to that.
Yep. Do you want to speak to Courtney's report?
Sure. So Courtney did her conflict resolution webinar, and should you overcome or embrace imposter syndrome for continuing education in May?
Excuse me, if I may,
Yes.
what is overcome or embrace imposter syndrome?
So I didn't take that webinar, but what I think it is fake it till you make it. It's, I think people feel anxious, like, maybe I'm not really meant for this. Am I able to do it? So like, I think it's about confidence
Yeah, building
building.
confidence, I
Right.
believe it is, yeah, 'cause I
Oh.
did look it up, yeah.
Yeah, yep.
Sounded rather ominous, imposter
Yeah, it's-
syndrome.
I guess there is a thing.
That is a thing now. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
New lingo.
That's why you asked. You wanted.
Yes, imposter syndrome, I thought it was some kind of identity theft or something we had going on. They stole someone's library card.
Richard, in our day, it was called
Oh, it's from
building
May.
confidence.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
All right, let me
Thank
bring
you.
you all back in here.
The translation's
We got
much
two people
appreciated.
going on here.
Sorry.
That's quite all right.
So she was on vacation in May, so we were able to cover the children's room. That was a lot of fun. The magician came. We had a great turnout, 57 attendees for that. The musical Petting Zoo was also really well received with 30 attendees. Very loud, but super fun. We finished our Young Scientist from the YMCA group. I'm not sure what type of numbers that they had. We don't pay for that. We just provide the location for them to meet, but they bring in a different demographic, which is fun. People, you know, get to see our library. The new D&D campaign started in the teen room. And then, of course, guest story times on Monday. We had the library coordinator at Mason Road. She pulled in 13 attendees. We invited Christopher Ortiz back with his grandmother, Carol Pryor, again. He was the young little Tiger Woods. They had a great time. He had a great turnout. The second time around, the first time in May, we didn't really have a great turnout, so we wanted him to be able to come back and show his stuff in June. And then Michelle Gray, the reading specialist from Mason School Road, was also in attendance in May, and she brought in 13 kids, which was pretty fun.
I don't know, I would submit that anytime anybody shows up, it's a great turnout.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Then-
Anybody who hasn't been in particular, that qualifies with, capitalize the word great.
Yeah. So the watermelon scavenger hunt, the kids love the scavenger hunt. I think Courtney's trying to change it out once a month. They do earn a ticket for summer reading for doing the scavenger hunt this summer. And then we talked about the changes that we made to the children's room. We took the shelving that was in front to the right near the play area and pushed it to the left. So it opens up the room, put the rugs out, the light table, carved out those little play spaces for the toddlers. The ukuleles are circling, which is great. We haven't had any issues with them, not being returned. We doubled the build center because we were able to move furniture around. Added the cozy chairs, and then she had the take and make crafts, and I'm not sure if those are leftovers from the guest readers or not. I'll check with that. And then we had 2 new signups for 1,000 books before kindergarten, which is exciting.
I would like to thank Courtney for this because, this is fully half of a building that had been kind of silent in the past, and now we're finding out what's going on and the good things that are going on over there, and that's much appreciated.
Right,
I would agree.
exactly.
Absolutely.
Nicole, just a question, but I remember that one of our libraries, we had people, we had kids who had a chance to, maybe come in and be librarian for the day. Maybe
Oh,
be the
nice.
children's librarian or be the library director for the day or what have you. And it was one of those, I can't remember if they did it in October or November, after the kids were back to school, and it was a chance to, come in, but they had to, write or type a little note and be like, I would like to be a librarian because.
Aw, that's
and
cute.
so I don't know if it's something that you might want to float to Courtney, because it might be something that, she wants to do, or even to your staff. I mean, some kids might be like, well, how do all those books get back on the shelf? And they could go with the page and this is how we, file all the books back and what have you.
Yeah,
I think it would be
definitely.
kind of fun, maybe a Saturday kind of event or what have you.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a great idea.
I don't know, kids take over or something,
Shadow.
something crazy,
Yeah, they definitely like using the self-checkout.
Oh, I
So
bet.
that turns them on
Always
to
got
the
a huge
idea of,
hit,
yeah.
huge hit,
For all parties.
exactly.
Right.
How are the, I'm sorry, but I happened to notice when we were going through the first page on your report, that Anne had finished adding the new items to the library things. How is that rotation working out? Are we having a fair amount of movement of those items?
Yep, we've actually, I think that they're, in my opinion, I think that they're circling really well. Anytime anything leaves the building, I'm like, yay. The projector's a huge hit. Pickleball has gone out a couple of times, which I think is fun because it has the whole kit, the net and the rackets
That's
and
right.
whatnot. The fishing poles have gone out. The metal detector is always a huge hit, so we're going to be adding a couple of more items. I had a gentleman come into the library asking if he could donate a laminator that people could borrow.
That's
And he wants to
fantastic.
get a donation for that and then buy the supplies so people can take it with them. And I thought that would kind of be a nice thing to have in our copy center too with the
Right.
fax machine. So we're looking for a check that should be coming sometime this month. And then when FY25 rolls, we'll start adding more items. It's just we had spent, and then I said, let's wait till next year because we're gonna have to hit that number again. We want to add a karaoke machine for kids to borrow. Coin counters, like a big one that always goes. We're probably gonna stay away from food things. Oh, and we had a gentleman come in and asked if he could donate some tools, some strange size tools, like large sockets. And I said, I'm not opposed to that. I don't know if I would catalog them, but maybe we could do a promotion like, hey, if you need this type of tool, come see us at the library, we can help facilitate that. I think post diggers are cool because people that live in apartments might need one and not want to buy one. But I don't want to be inundated with all
Everybody's
sorts
used
of
tools.
tools. So, yeah.
We don't want to be the drop-off spot.
Yes, yes, exactly. So, yeah, so they're doing
That's
well.
great.
Yeah,
Thank
they're
you.
doing well.
All righty. Number 5, changing the day of the monthly meeting.
So it turns out that if we want to be in this room, it's not available. So the option is to move to the smaller room
Oh.
across the hall. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. This week, to have a trustees meeting, I feel like we're missing so much, like, information. Like, I'm reporting on May, and we're already at the end of
End
June.
of June.
So I'm gonna leave it up to you guys.
I would like to see our ultimate goal is to have the actually trustee meetings on site in the library.
She's working on that.
I know.
You're gonna hear more.
I know,
She's
I
working on
understand
that one, which is great.
And to be honest with you, that room down at the end of the hall has no appeal at all. I mean, in the summertime, if those shades
I
aren't.
wish the temperature was consistent.
Well,
I don't know if
you've
that
got the
was
collection of the
separate.
dead flies on the windowsill alone. I mean, that's off-putting if nothing else.
We can count them as people joining.
Joyce,
In attendance.
really reaching for a happy note there, I think, but.
Nicole, are you thinking you would like to see a meeting like the first week of the
Oh,
month?
wait, I'm sorry, we have.
Second.
We have some input.
Can I make one comment? I've been working with Nicole. Even if we get the cameras down at library so you can have the meetings at library, you're still competing with other meetings. I'm one person with
Okay.
one staff member.
Ah,
I can't be everywhere to record every
Good
meeting
point.
in one spot. And like this week alone, she's out with surgery. So I'm not only working all day, I'm covering every meeting that's going on this week. So like
yeah.
this week alone, I had Board of Selectmen, I have tonight, I have 2 meetings tomorrow, and I
Okay.
have Friday for FAA.
Do
Let me
you
ask
end up
this.
running meetings in both locations? Because I've seen you run in and out of our room, so you can sometimes be running 2 meetings at once,
Yep.
which wouldn't work if we were at the library.
Correct.
Well,
So-
Let me ask this question, if I may, Amanda. Would it be,
Unfortunately, like,
would it be,
I'm working on getting, I've been working with Nicole. I've had a person go down there and look at the room, get her a quote, but we're trying to get the networking straightened out first before I even put recording devices in there, because the network is a gigantic mess. But you're still gonna be competing for days against other committees.
Gotcha.
If I can put that little
No, thank
No,
you.
no.
We need to hear that.
pin.
but is it something that we could do? Like, we can hit start? Like, how many times, like, for a meeting like ours, you hit start and stop? I don't know how much more.
I could potentially show you right now the setup is your microphone, everything's gonna be in that little closet in the bells room. So you're gonna have a setup that you need to do along with starting and stopping the meeting.
would it be possible
wants
to
another hat.
train,
No.
would it be possible for a library staff member to be familiar enough? In other words, what I'm thinking of is not just our meetings to be held
Yes.
there, but we have other programs
The
in
whole
the Fells
idea is
Room.
to- yes.
And I think that
Move other
would be
meetings.
a good idea to record those for maybe the public access television at some point for people
Maybe
who
there would be someone on staff that would be interested in taking on
would be interested in that or would be willing to.
That's
Possibility, yeah, that might be a
up to
possibility.
Nicole. I just wanted to put in that little pin.
Thank
No,
you.
no, thank you. We need to hear
That
that.
note of reality needs to be in the conversation, certainly, yes.
I'm a one-man department with a one
Staff.
staff.
Right, but the meetings just have to be recorded. They don't have to be live.
That, as
Right, you
far
know what I
as
mean? It's
live, they
recorded and then
won't
it can be
live.
shown.
Shown, right.
Yeah.
It
Right.
would be shown, so.
And what's the timing of having that room up and ready to do anything? The Fells Room?
When,
6 months minimum.
6 months?
Fair enough, right?
Okay.
Okay,
About.
okay, all right, so
Well,
it's in the future. Okay,
Yeah.
we're not talking this fall. I wasn't sure.
January.
Yeah, I wasn't
That would
sure.
give us 7
At least
months,
we
yeah.
have a path.
Exactly.
That's what we're looking
We're
for. And
working on
again,
it.
there's a lot of things that go on in that room that I think we would do
It would be nice
well
if-
to. And
yeah.
obviously, there are
With
always going to be
permission.
these meeting conflicts. I know this building is amazingly, we don't have a lot of folks in attendance, but there are an amazing number of things that happen here, so.
and that's more of a setup that I did with Nicole when I had my media person
Yep.
come out and look at it for equipment, for setup. It wasn't so much for meetings, it was more for the activities
To
that she
record,
wanted
yeah.
recorded in that room.
Yeah.
Meetings were just, they're gonna happen.
Secondary, yeah.
Yeah, the priority of that room for recording was, we have activities that go on, for example, a guy with an owl. We wanna record it to put it on YouTube, on
Sure.
YouTube to advertise the library.
Yeah.
Those kids' programs in particular, if grandparents, for example, are some distance away, you can watch that YouTube, you couldn't
See
actually
the
get
child.
there, but
Yep.
you could, 1,000 miles in someplace else.
When we hire
Pick that
these
up and see the
people
grandkids, please.
to come in to do programs, is that part of their contract? Can or cannot be videotaped?
Oh, it's probably in their
That's what I'm
contract,
saying.
whether they
What
say
do
that's
we,
in
has
what,
to be a specific
yeah, we've
question
got to
to
make
them.
sure we have that sign off. We don't need to be sued. But just one more piece of the puzzle. So back to the original question.
So it sounds like at this point in time, we're
It's-
staying where we're at. There's no other Tuesday or Wednesday availability earlier in the month?
Well, if we're in that room,
If we're in that room, it opens things up, but this is our night, so Board of Health is the 3rd, and then we're going against the Board of Selectmen too, right?
They're on
What
Monday
days?
nights.
Monday
Monday
nights.
They do Mondays.
Yeah.
Okay.
they're only Monday.
Planning is usually Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So you're looking at second week you want to do, maybe? You'd like to do second week,
Wednesday,
second
you do
Tuesday?
conservation and then
Do you
planning.
know, would you know
Potentially.
second week? Like, you're the one to
I
ask.
wanna say second Tuesday of the month is open. Wednesdays are pretty much out because you have,
Planning.
water, sewer,
Yeah.
conservation, and planning board are basically every other.
Yep.
The only thing I can say with water sewer is they don't mind being in that room.
Good.
Tuesday, second Tuesday, you're saying semi-free in this room or this room? Well, then let's do
I
it.
think that's pretty much.
And that's
the
kind of what
only
you're
day I
looking
can-
for, right?
Let's do it.
Yes.
But you were
If
told
I
that
w-
wasn't
Well,
good?
no, I was going for the 3rd Tuesday, but the 2nd would work.
Yeah,
I just have to make sure my stats are done in time, but I can make sure my stats are done in time.
The third is definitely Board of Health.
I'll do it.
So Board of Health is here on the 3rd Tuesday, that wouldn't work. but
Right,
Second,
right.
Second Tuesday.
2nd Tuesday.
You don't want to move it.
I really, because I feel like we're
It
so
makes sense.
far behind.
It does make sense.
You
Well,
know?
that's like trying to do, in April
Yeah.
of the following year, trying to do the previous year's
Yeah.
annual report.
Right.
It's like,
Like what?
so much happens in between there
Mhm.
that,
Right.
So our first would,
Right.
if we wanted to make that immediate, the first would be the 9th of July.
9th of July.
9th of July, 13th of August, 10th of September.
6:15 still work?
September
Do
10th.
we want to stay with 6:15? Or do you want to change that?
I like 6:15. It's up to you guys.
That's
though.
fine with me.
Okay.
Okay. The 9th, 6:15, library.
September 10th, October 8th, November 12th, December 10th. I don't know if we're gonna do December,
Yeah,
January.
we'll talk
Yeah,
about that
well,
when we get there.
December, what did you say was the 10th?
Yeah. January 14th, February
The
11th,
Yeah. March
March
11th.
11th, April,
8th,
yep, April 8th.
13th of May.
13th of May, and 10th of June.
Top.
So Jackie asked for that schedule. Would you guys like me to send that to her tomorrow?
Yes.
Jackie
Yeah, Assistant Town Clerk?
or Michelle?
Jackie Phelps.
Michelle is retired already.
That's right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. See, it was her last day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jackie Phelps?
No, Michelle.
town
No, no,
clerk.
yes,
Oh,
I
I was gonna
understand.
say.
Yeah, I know who.
Jackie.
I was going to say, who wants this schedule?
The town
Jackie
clerk.
Phelps.
It's,
yeah.
okay, it is Jackie Phelps.
Yeah, so she can
okay.
update the calendar?
Yes.
I think that's a perfect idea.
All right.
Let's get our names on there now before somebody else decides they want to
Yeah.
move.
Yep.
That July
make a
9th coming up
motion to
pretty
do that?
quickly, though, in terms of
Yeah, we'll see you
posting
in 2
agendas
weeks.
and, posting an agenda.
All righty, so.
We'll have
we-
to let Lisa know as well.
Yeah.
I'll
Because,
make a
Yes.
motion that we change our meetings from the fourth Tuesday of the month to the second Tuesday of the month at 6:15.
Second.
And the calendar will be sent, corrected calendar will be sent to the town clerk.
Very good. We have a motion.
I would second
We have
that.
a second, okay?
Can I just, I'm
Yes.
sorry, it just dawned on me because I had the 3rd in my mind. I'm on vacation on that week,
Which one?
the July 9th. Can we keep that on the, I know, Pat, I'm sorry. I can come in for it, it's fine, I don't. I
No,
prefer
you're
not to.
allowed to have a vacation.
But also it's year end. I don't know if I'm gonna be
Yeah.
able to get year end numbers in 2 weeks.
Starting in August.
Thank you.
I'm fine with that, yes.
So what will the July meeting be?
July.
23rd.
We'll keep that.
Yeah.
We'll
Thank you,
keep-
guys.
I'll
Amend that.
restate my
Go ahead.
motion, yes.
Sorry.
I'd like to make a motion that starting in August, the Board of Trustees meetings will happen on the second Tuesday of the month. We will no longer meet on the fourth Tuesday of the month at 6:15 here at the town hall currently.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other comments?
Room 321, correct?
This is 321? Thank you. Amanda knows. In room 321. All right. Seeing no other questions, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. Thank you. Very good. Okay. Okay, number 7, member comments and observations, other things that we haven't discussed that we need to bring up. Anyone?
I think we were going to talk about holidays.
Oh, yeah, that's here. You have that. Yep, we have that. Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
So I sent an email to Michelle to just confirm that the paid holiday leave in the town of Dudley personnel book is accurate. She said yes. There are no other scheduled days off that we are not included in, so I gave you guys a list of those dates. They're all really, I mean, in my opinion, there's no reason to close on a Saturday, even if it's a holiday weekend. I have a dedicated Saturday staff. They are paid for their holiday on Monday. We are a public service building and should be open to the public, just like working retail.
We have fought for a long time to get it, so
Yep.
I don't want to close on Saturdays. I want to give that opportunity for patrons to come in on Saturdays.
So-
Are there any ones that are odd?
So-
Because, like, we've had issues where the town hall closes, but, like,
Well-
Veterans Day was the one that really messed us up when it fell last year because
Exactly.
they gave them Friday off when Veterans Day was on Saturday. We should have been closed Saturday and worked Friday. But we had Friday off because the town had Friday off.
But you've gone
So-
against the calendar, and all these holidays work. We don't have any
There's no outliers
mix-ups.
this
Yeah,
year,
okay.
no. And even so, Thanksgiving will be closed on Thursday. We also are paid for the Friday holiday for the day after Thanksgiving. We will be closed Thursday and Friday. We will reopen on
So that's
Saturday.
odd because I remember the last director telling us that we were getting, I thought Juneteenth, and they were taking the day after Thanksgiving. We weren't closed.
I did hear that from the staff.
Yeah, we
I
weren't
confirmed
closed.
that Juneteenth is also a paid holiday per
Yeah.
this schedule, so this is the schedule that we
Yeah.
should be following.
Yeah, and then Christmas is on the 25th this year.
Which is a Wednesday.
Always.
I was
Yep.
gonna
It's
say, I
always
think
on
it
the
always is on the
25th.
25th.
But it's a
But
Wednesday.
again,
Yeah.
the day,
Right.
everything.
So if Christmas Eve is not a
Happy
paid
for
holiday
you.
according to this
Yeah.
personnel
Right.
book,
Yeah.
Can't say
if
next
they
year.
close town hall on
Well, they
Christmas
keep
Eve, I'm
moving these
assuming
things
that
to
people are going to be
Mondays. I
using their
mean,
paid
it's,
time off.
who knows?
And that's up to them to do so.
So we're not closing early Christmas Eve. We're not
Not-
closing early New Year's Eve.
Not that I know of. I mean, if the staff would like additional paid time off, they can use their paid time off.
Okay.
But as far as I know, at this moment, we are following this schedule, and this schedule is
Okay.
set, if you guys are.
And at your
amenable to that.
next
And-
staff meeting, I think you print this out and give this to all of them, so everybody's on the same page.
Correct.
And,
Please.
I don't have a calendar in front of me,
Yeah.
but New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve fall on what day of the week?
Tuesdays.
They fall on Tuesdays, so
year.
that's not a day
That's
we're
a
open late.
mix it up,
Right,
yeah,
so,
yeah.
right.
Yep.
Mess it up.
Okay, well, let's see, I've got January 1st as being,
And I'll make
On a-
sure that
on
I
a
stay in
Monday.
touch with what's happening at
looking
Town
at the
Hall.
wrong
You're looking
calendar.
at the
There's a
wrong-
change in
Wrong
schedule
year?
on
Yeah,
Christmas
That's not
Eve.
surprising.
I'll let you know. We'll follow what suit of what Town Hall does. So, other than the
Well,
Saturday, it shouldn't.
See, I have an issue with that, because that's not the case. There are times that like I said, we should have been open that Friday, but because the town hall was closed, they
Right.
followed the town hall. And that's my issue, is there are not always the days that the town hall is closed, that our library should be closed. So that's why I'm asking, New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, I'm asking right now. They're not on here as a paid, so we're working the full day. It's not a day that we're open late, so that's not,
Yeah.
that, they use their own time.
But I will, right, as of this minute, this is the schedule. If on Christmas Eve, Town Hall closes at noon for the employees, I will reach out and let you know. I mean, the library staff are employees of the town of Dudley, and they should be treated the same way that
We should be
any-
consistent.
Exactly.
and with any other employee at the town. As far as Saturdays go, that's a different game. You know, town
Amanda, you
hall is
can
not
tell
open
us,
on
Amanda,
Saturday.
you can say it.
So that's this 24, but I do all the doors for town hall.
Yeah.
So those are that is the door
Yep.
schedule.
Yep, which is exactly this, yep. So if somebody has paid time off on Christmas Eve and they leave at 12, that's very different than the town saying we're closing at noon on Christmas Eve. Those two things are not the same. So I can tell you right in this very minute that we are following what the town is doing. Whether that changes between now and December, I'll let you know.
Well, I guess we always had an issue with the town hall closing early, and then
And
what do
not
we
telling us.
classify, well, that, and what do we classify as early? Because our hours, we open later than them.
Right, I do, yeah.
So, like, that's my,
Well, I think one of the issues is the employee handbook that you're using as a point of reference is the same employee handbook, whether you're with highways.
Correct.
Or the
Right.
library. So everybody is kind of
So,
working with the same
this
hymnal,
is
if you
what we're
will.
going by.
Unless something changes in the handbook.
Okay, so it's,
Yeah.
so this is what we're going by unless something changes in the handbook.
So we don't know how else to do it.
Yeah,
You
well-
know, like our responsibility is to make sure employees come to work and we follow the town's rules.
Yep.
And
Yeah, but if the town closes at noon, for example, they open at 8, and
Mm-hmm.
8 to noon is 4 hours, would we close at 2 if we were following the?
well, staff technically starts at 9. So, you know, what's a paid half day? I think.
The library doesn't even open till 10.
Right, but staff
That's what I
doesn't
mean.
start at 10.
Patrons, yeah.
Right, right. And, you know, and we're making the assumption that town hall is closing. Again, people may be using personal time or paid time off,
Yeah.
and departments are closed. When you have 1 or 2 people in a department,
Right.
Yeah.
you
No,
know.
they have definitely historically closed and not included us, like, or told us, but we are a different, this, you know, that's my issue with that is.
And thankfully, the relationship between the two buildings has changed.
Yeah, it has.
And so I do believe we will know more about what's going on when we get a little closer, and you will
I will
have the
definitely
opportunity
keep
to talk
everybody
to
in the
us
loop, right.
and get our feedback if you're hearing something different.
Right, but there's no Saturdays that will impact the holiday schedule.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I thought we were
Good.
focusing on the Saturday.
No, it was more, my issue was more or less the days the town hall was closed, that they were closing on a Friday. And I mean, it doesn't happen often, but it does happen that they were closed on a Friday or whatever, and really the holiday fell on Saturday. Veterans Day, we should have been
The
closed on
Veterans Day, yeah.
Saturday, for
Right, it's a
Veterans
federal-
Day.
Yeah, it's a federal holiday.
Right,
Yeah.
and we were closed on Friday.
Yeah.
So to me, it made no sense
But they had it
whatsoever.
off because they don't work on Saturday, I
Right.
guess.
And again, it's going by the.
Well, they're only half a day on Friday, isn't it? 8 to
They only
2,
work,
you know?
yeah, 8 to 1 on Fridays
noon,
anyways.
yeah.
I agree with Ben that we do seem to have a much better rapport with the discussions that go on here. So
Thank you.
I think that we'll know, in advance, and if there's something that we need to discuss or what have you, I think we'll have the opportunity to do so before it's plopped in our lap.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Other comments or observations, or things we missed?
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to find out what embracing imposter syndrome means. It's entirely new to me. I apparently have missed things, and I find that as we're going through this, and the library is becoming a more vibrant part of the community, that I'm learning things every day. Thank you.
Welcome.
I am of the theory that if you learn something new every day, it's been a good day. So I'm
Exactly.
glad it's been a good day,
It
Richard.
can be challenging, though. Thank you.
I would like to say, here we are at the end of a year, and what a year it's been.
Oh, and
When you consider where we started and where we are today.
That's true, it's all been 1 year.
Yeah, it's hard to believe,
It's
isn't
hard-
it? Yeah.
It seems like a decade.
It really does. Yeah.
You're right.
We sort of have risen from the ashes, so to speak, and there's
Quickly, too,
so many people
thankfully.
to be grateful for.
Yes.
And certainly the voters, the public, our patrons, for sticking with us and for making it possible for us to get through it. The Board of Trustees who worked hard, working with the town to make sure we would still be here. Cheryl Hansen, our acting director, and our staff. Our staff was amazing. They stuck with us. All our part-time staff stayed with us through the times when we didn't have a director, and then Cheryl Hansen came on board. Lucky lady's been in France, and I'm very jealous of all her Facebook postings. And then Nicole came in, and she really turned us around. We have another full-time staff person, and it's made a tremendous difference. We talked about adding a full-time person for years, and it just, for some reason, just couldn't quite happen, but it has, and we're now a vibrant entity, and it's such an amazing thing to see, and I get chills when I think about it. It's like opening the doors to our library again. Our newly
Yeah.
finished door.
Yeah, newly finished doors.
Newly refinished.
Yeah.
Well said, thank you.
Thank you.
Very well said. Anything else?
Chairman, if it's in order, I would move that we adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Next
Our next meeting will be at the end of July. Yes.
23rd
End of July.
23rd of July.
Yes. We'll be
23rd of
reminding
July.
everybody in August.
Yeah, really.
Have a
Excellent.
second?
So we have a motion to adjourn from Mr. Clark. We have a second
I
from
will
Pat.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.